Lil Durk can't catch a break. Not only is he facing 2 murder-for-hire charges for the deaths of Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Pob and his brother's killer Stefan Mack, there's now rumor that he may have been involved in Lil Jeff's death. And while it may seem crazy, it has everything to do with Lil Jeff's beef with one of Durkio's artists, YFG Fatso.
Another thing that's been going viral, you dissed Bloodhound Lil Jeff in a song.
The details of Durkio's involvement are crazy, and you'll be surprised by what we have uncovered. Lil Durk involved in Lil Jeff's death. Dying while sliding on your ops is a crazy way to go, and Bloodhound Lil Jeff's tragic death while trying to kill his ops was caught on camera for the world to see. While everyone saw the Chicago rapper's last moments, some details surrounding his death have remained a mystery for close to a year until now. Details that may change the year-long narrative behind Lil Jeff's death. It's wild, and it revolves around the OTF head honcho, Lil Durk. To understand Durkio's alleged involvement in Lil Jeff's death, we have to first talk about Lil Jeff's close affiliate, Lil Scoom, and Durk's artist YFG Fatso, because just days before Lil Jeff was killed, he was on IG Live rapping to Lil Scoom's unreleased diss track aimed at YFG Fatso. What's crazy is that YFG Fatso and Lil Jeff used to kick it back in the day, a fact that YFG Fatso revealed on IG Live.
You want to be technical? Shit, me and Jeff used to kick it. If you want to be technical, shit, me and Jeff used to kick it.
Despite their once close ties, the two rappers would end up on opposite sides of a deadly feud, with YFG Fatso even dissing Lil Jeff in a track.
Another thing that's been going viral, you dissed Bloodhound Lil Jeff in a song. Where did all this situation come from? Where did all this first derive from?
So why did the friendship turn sour? Well, it turns out the beef was caused by Lil Jeff's homie, Lil Scoom, and had everything to do with lyrics.
Man, that shit came from the stupidest shit on earth, from like lyrics, bro.
So it's not a real beef. It wasn't even like.
It was lyric shit, bro. Like, I'm a real chill. For like me personally, he was mad over lyrics. So,
According to Lil Durk's artist, YFG Fatso, Lil Scoom accused him of stealing lyrics from his track Nightcrawler, which he used in his song Princeton Freestyle.
Scoom short, he was mad over lyrics and shit about a song that I been had. You know Princeton Freestyle.
Right. Yeah, fact.
You know his Nightcrawler song.
But that's not how Fatso viewed the situation. According to the rapper, he had been recording music without dropping for over a year, so his Princeton Freestyle was recorded over a year before Lil Scoom dropped Nightcrawler.
I been made that song like a year before I dropped it. All the songs that's viral and all the songs I got on my YouTube, I just started dropping new songs. All the other shit old as hell. Like, I got hella songs. I got a big ass catalog for. So I'm telling niggas like, gang, I been had this song before you.
But the story took a surprising twist when Durkio's artist declared that Lil Scoom was, in fact, the one stealing his lyrics.
I know you took my lyrics, folks. Yo, homie was just on the phone with me and told me that you be in the crib listening to my music. He like, yeah, we fuck with you, bro.
Lil Jeff had to pick a side, and as fate would have it, he chose to take Scoom's side, a mistake that he would later regret. At the time, Fatso was a hot rapper in the streets of Chicago, and while he didn't really pay attention to the accusations, Lil Scoom and Lil Jeff, on the other hand, decided to milk the situation for clout, using every chance he got to diss YFG Fatso for supposedly stealing his lyrics.
I ain't the nigga who mad about lyrics. That shit ain't nothing for real. I got real life situations going on, so I ain't finna really argue with you niggas about no lyrics. That's why I never had really paid attention. But the niggas was chasing it, like Stacy and the nigga get on live and shit. Like, you know, you go to TikTok shit, see it. They on live.
To many, stolen lyrics was way too petty a reason to start a deadly beef over, and Lil Scoom and Lil Jeff were needlessly trying to stir the pot for some clout. One comment read, "In my opinion, Scoom and Bloodhound was just looking for reasons to start beefing with dudes so they can get their name out there." While another one said, "This some 90s shit, a small little beef over maybe some stolen lyrics." Now the story got even crazier because YFG Fatso and Lil Scoom ran into each other while visiting their homies in jail. However, Lil Scoom didn't want any smoke, so he didn't confront the OTF rapper.
I go to jail, I see the
Who? Which one?
Scoom. I didn't consider him an op at first in jail. I don't know who the fuck he is. Before that, I didn't consider him an op.
But even after this incident, Lil Scoom and Lil Jeff still went on the internet and dissed Fatso. To his credit, the OTF rapper tried to reach out to Scoom and Lil Jeff to squash the beef before it got out of hand. Sadly, they wanted all the smoke, including going on IG Live to premiere diss tracks aimed at Fatso.
Then I get out of jail. The niggas just keep, they all was going on Instagram and shit. Mind you, folks, I had these numbers. I'm calling these niggas like, bro, why y'all live and shit keep saying my name and shit? They, ooh, man, my know what's going on. That's cool. But leaving in the trenches though.
Although YFG Fatso hit back through his music, the disrespect towards him would soon come to an end because in April 2024, Lil Durk took to his Instagram where he made a post that would significantly impact YFG Fatso's beef with Lil Jeff and Lil Scoom. Durkio announced that YFG Fatso was among the 3 new signees to his record label, Only the Family, OTF. With this achievement came privileges. Anyone who was beefing with Fatso was now beefing with OTF. Anyone who disrespected Fatso was now disrespecting OTF as a whole. And if there's one thing OTF couldn't take lying down, it was disrespect. So in late May 2024, when Lil Jeff played Lil Scoom's unreleased diss track aimed at YFG Fatso, there was bound to be repercussions. And just 2 weeks later, Lil Jeff would lose his life. On June 8, 2024, Lil Jeff, alongside Q50 and another associate, pulled up on the 6,600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue, ready to slide on their ops. They had their target in sight. Jeff was the first to move, jumping out of the car and letting off shots. His victim scrambled, ducking behind a car, before making a desperate run up a porch and into the safety of a house. But Jeff wasn't letting up. He charged forward, still firing, chasing his target inside. But what Jeff didn't know was that he was running straight into his own death. From inside the house, someone returned fire, hitting Jeff before he even made it up the steps. His body was sent flying back onto the ground at the foot of the porch. And as Lil Jeff lay on the pavement, the shooters finished the job. Reports say they emptied an entire magazine into him from above, making sure there was no coming back. Q50 and the other shooter fired back, but it was already over. There was no saving him. And just like that, the crew abandoned him, hopping back in the car and speeding off, leaving Jeff behind in a pool of blood. By the time authorities arrived, the scene was littered with evidence. 58 shell casings scattered across the pavement. Lil Jeff had been hit 19 times. And although Durk and OTF were not responsible, there were whispers that they were planning to have Scoomy taken out. However, someone else would beat them to it, because Scoomy was gunned down just a month after Lil Jeff's death. On June 7th, tragedy struck in the Chatham neighborhood at the intersection of 89th Place and Langley Avenue. At around 11:50 p.m., Lil Scoom and his 16-year-old friend got into a heated argument with another individual. Words turned into threats, and in the blink of an eye, gunfire erupted. When the smoke cleared, Scoom was down. His friend was wounded, but survived. Paramedics rushed Scoom to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was done. He didn't make it. Meanwhile, police spotted a suspect fleeing the scene and a foot chase ensued. Shots were fired at officers, leading to a massive emergency response. CPD, SWAT, and multiple districts were called in, but in the chaos, the gunman managed to escape. It's not hard to believe that Durk and OTF had plans to go after Lil Jeff and Scoomy after they dissed YFG Fatso, because Durk has slid for his homies on numerous occasions. From using women to backdoor his ops to paying gang members to take care of his ops, Durk and OTF have terrorized their ops for years. Lil Durk sliding for his homies. Lil Durk doesn't mess around when it comes to standing up for his homies. Sometimes he does go overboard, and that's why he is behind bars. You see, after his best friend King Von was murked by Quando Rondo's right-hand man, Lil Tim, Durkio wasn't about to give anyone a free pass. He wanted to see bodies dropping, and that's what he got. According to court documents, Durk started plotting for Quando's death immediately after Von was killed. Rumors began to circulate that Durk had placed a bounty on Quando's head. Durk told OTF members that he would pay a bounty to anyone who would take part in killing Quando Rondo. Durk's cousin, DeAndre Wilson, also promised OTF members that anyone who took part in killing Quando would be rewarded with lucrative music opportunities with OTF, which was also a music label. On August 18th, 2022, federal court records show that Durkio learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. He didn't waste any time and paid for his associates, DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and Asa Houston, to travel from Chicago to get the job done. When they got to L.A, they were met by Kyon Grant, who had everything ready for the hit. From ski masks to guns and even cars, OTF was determined to avenge Von's death. After tracking down Quando's SUV, the group followed the rapper to a gas station where they ambushed him and started letting off shots. Miraculously, Quando Rondo survived. However, However, his cousin Lil Pob wasn't lucky, and he tragically lost his life in the ambush. But this wasn't the only time Durkio was sliding for his homies, because even dissing his dead brothers was reason enough for him to slide. Something FBG Duck found out too late after he was shot and killed at Michigan Avenue and East Oak Street in the Gold Coast area of Chicago on the 4th of August 2020, with the tragic incident being caught on camera. Footage captured the moment a black vehicle pulled up in front of a store, with armed men jumping out and opening fire as Duck desperately tried to escape, but it was in vain. After hitting the hull of their target multiple times, the gunmen rushed back into the black vehicle, while a gray Chrysler, also involved in the hit, sped off, leaving Duck for dead. CCTV footage also reveals that cops trailed the gray Chrysler to O Block. Although no arrests were made that day, cops made a breakthrough in the case when gang members revealed on camera the reason they gunned down the Chicago rapper. He had dissed one of their dead homies, T-Roy, in his track Dead Bitch, just 1 month before he was killed.
Boy, like everything like that, I don't know. On game. All I know, don't say about Troy or rest in peace, Duck. You don't say shit about Troy. That's it.
At first, everyone, including the feds, believed that it was King Von who had put a bounty on Duck's head for dissing his dead best friend. However, in an interview on Vlad TV, FBG Butta dropped a bombshell that connected Lil Durk to FBG Duck's murder. It turns out, Durkio was about to fly out some of FBG Duck's killers in a private jet just before their arrest.
I don't think Von paid them guys. I'm sorry to tell the world. Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar. Von is dead, right?
Okay, well,
How the f is these paying for a jet?
But FBG Duck's murder isn't the only one that Durk and OTF have been linked to. It turns that he also went after his brother's killer. Lil Durk's brother D Thang was murked on a Sunday morning outside a strip club in South Suburban Harvey on June 7th, 2021. And for Durk, revenge was the only thing on his mind. Word spread that a dude named Stefan Mack was responsible for D Thang's death, and soon word spread that Durkio had put a price on his head. 1 year later, on January 7th, 2022, Mack's ops tracked and gunned him down at the Youth Peace Center of Roseland, located at 420 West 111th Street in Chicago. 2 years later, on December 4th, 2023, two men, Preston Powell, alias J.B. Marley, and Anthony Montgomery Wilson, alias AJ, were charged in a murder for hire plot in connection to Mack's death. While AJ is in custody, J.B. Marley remains a fugitive, with law enforcement agencies actively seeking his arrest and a $10,000 reward for any info that will lead to his arrest. The story gets even crazier, with Reddit forums pointing out that AJ was at Lil Durk's Aha music video shoot, the same video that he dropped less than a month after Mack was killed. And it seems someone is already truth-telling, because cops have already pinned the murder for hire on Durkio. According to newly unsealed court documents, the feds believe Mack's murder was revenge for the death of Lil Durk's brother. The court documents also reveal that a federal informant told cops that Lil Durk was, and still is, offering money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder, and more specifically, offering to pay money for any gangster disciple that is killed. The evidence against Durk continues to pile, because now the feds have text messages between AJ and JB Marley where the two appear to discuss getting paid by Durkio. In one of the most damning texts, AJ asks, "Did Durk give you that money?" But people turning on him is the least of his worries, because the feds are using his music to prove that he ordered the murders of his rival. Apparently, the OTF head honcho was on a self-snitching spree, and according to the feds, they can prove it in court. Although Durk and OTF members are facing decades in prison for sliding for their ops, some of their alleged bodies haven't officially been pinned on them. Until now, no arrests have been made, even though it is an open secret in Chicago who is responsible. One such example is FBG Cash, and word on the street is that he was killed for disrespecting Von's mural. You see, when King Von was gunned down back in 2020, a mural was drawn in his honor. Well, his ops weren't about to let Von rest in peace. So FBG Cash decided to take a photo next to the mural showing his middle finger. He posted the photo on his IG and captioned it, "Whole world witnessed yo main sniper get his shit splat." This stunt did not go down well with Durkio, who dissed Cash in his song Computer Murderers. Clearly enjoying the clout, Cash would respond to the diss in his own version of Computer Murderers. The attention was getting to the rapper's head that he went as far as to troll his ops in interviews. In one interview, he was asked about his infamous stunt at King Von's mural. He responded by saying that Lil Durk had told him to do it.
Then I think at some point you take the picture in front of O Block, in front of the King Von mural. So what was going on with all that?
Durk told me to do that.
Durk told you to do that.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time before his ops would catch up with him, and a warning from Durk on social media gave a clue as to what would happen next. Lil Durk had taken to Instagram to warn him, "Don't diss Thang if you be lingering and chasing Won't end well. That's marched, the Instagram story read. It seems Durkio knew Cash's weakness, women, and he exploited it. On the 9th of June 2022, Cash was driving with a female sleeping in the backseat. The rapper stopped at the stop sign on the 1600 block of West 81st when a car cut them off. 3 men jumped out and opened fire. Cash exited the vehicle as he shot back. However, he was shot by his ops, who fled into the night. Cash was later taken to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, where he succumbed to his injuries. Word on the street is that he was set up by the woman he was with in the car.
Dad, like 5 o'clock that morning, you was loose as hell. You trying to ride around with in the rack. Come on, bro. Ain't no doing that, cuz. You know better. Like, these will set you up.
In the streets, Durk and OTF have a reputation to maintain. You messed with one of them, you messed with all of them. So, it's not hard to see why people thought that OTF might have had a hand in Lil Jeff or Lil Scoom's deaths. But Lil Jeff was a different kind of menace. His constant dissing and trolling antics earned him numerous enemies. It's no surprise that many people wanted him gone. From mocking the death of his victims on social media to collaborating with one of the most hated rappers in the country, Lil Jeff was a man on a mission to get as many haters as he could. Why everyone wanted to kill Lil Jeff. One of the reasons Lil Jeff had so many ops hoping to slide on him was his constant mocking of the deaths of 2 teens, who he allegedly killed in broad daylight. On Friday, the 26th of January 2024, Robert Boston, alias Lil Rob, and Monterio Williams, alias Monty, would be attending the Innovations High School located in downtown Chicago. The two teens had no idea they were about to walk straight into an ambush. At 12:30 p.m., as students exited the school for their routine lunch break, chaos broke out. 2 cars suddenly pulled up near the Washington train station. Suddenly, masked gunmen jumped out and opened fire, targeting Monty and Lil Rob. When the shooting finally stopped, Monty and Lil Rob lay motionless on the pavement, bleeding out in front of their classmates. Above the street, a witness standing on the train platform captured the aftermath on camera, the final moments of 2 young lives slipping away. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but it was too late. Both Monty and Lil Rob were later pronounced dead at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Lil Jeff went all out mocking his dead ops, throwing subtle hints on social media claiming the 2 bodies. It's no surprise that his ops wanted him dead, but despite his antics, he was also increasingly getting hate for his association with the self-proclaimed most disrespectful rapper, YBC Dull.
I'm tapping in with the most disrespectful rapper, person, human being on the planet, YBC Dull, aka Mr. Disrespectful.
And for being the most disrespectful rapper, he was also the most hated.
I saw a documentary about you that said you're the most hated rapper in Philadelphia. Is that cap?
You know that ain't no fucking bluff.
YBC Dull and Lil Jeff did music together, something that most rappers avoided because associating with these two was putting a target on your back. For Lil Jeff, he was making enemies by his mere association with YBC Dull, and the Philly rapper had many enemies.
All ops, fuck CCK, fuck LMG, fuck 56th Street, Belmont, y'all never got back. 38th Street, fuck 38th Street, I ain't even going live. Fuck the Dub 2, fuck the Dub 2, fuck Collar Hill, fuck Parkside, fuck Bud, Blue for Bud, fuck all niggas. Is the real disrespectful. I'm gonna fuck who you is. I will disrespect you.
Sadly, just like Lil Jeff, YBC Dull would lose his life in a tragic shooting on August 23rd, 2024. And just like Lil Jeff, his death was caught on camera for the whole world to see. That day, around 3:30 p.m., YBC Dull was driving a white Hyundai rental car. He had just picked up a friend from the 5500 block of North 6th Street. He stopped at a red light as he approached the 5500 block of North Fairhill Street. Suddenly, another car pulled up beside YBC Dull's vehicle, and the rapper's ops started letting off shots, hitting the rapper multiple times. The rapper's friend sprang into action and took the wheel, driving YBC Dull to the Einstein Medical Center, where he would sadly lose his life. Just like his fellow drill rapper Lil Jeff, YBC Dull's disrespectful antics had seen him lose his life. And for Jeff, his untimely death during a drill had potentially saved many more lives. But if he had survived that day, there was wide speculation that he would have been on Lil Durk and OTF's radar. If you enjoyed that video, click on the boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.